Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Doctor Stone Season 4, Episode 24. I believe this is the last episode until for now, until we get the final part, which will be I'm guessing, another 12 episode set, which will be the end of the show. So, yeah, last episode broke me in so many ways, just watching poor Suika traverse alone in this world and do her best, and the loneliness and the sadness she felt, but also the drive and motivation that she was able to pull forth. I was so proud of her and felt so bad for her. I felt tears coming to my eyes several times. There was a moment where tears definitely fell, and yeah, we now have our time skip, and Suika is older now. When I looked it up in the discussion of the last video, in case you missed it, she's roughly 15 or 16, they were saying. And it wasn't 7 years from the time that she got unstoned. It was 7 years from the time that Senku is counting from the time he got turned to stone. That's what he meant by 7 years, which makes sense. I thought it was 7 years from the time that she got released, because I thought he was saying, like, oh, it only took you 7 years to do it, you know? So, but anyway, yeah, so Senku is free now. I'm so glad she has someone else. Hopefully he'll be able to speed run, get more fluid, and we'll be able to release more people and start trying to get back on track with our goals. And yeah, I'm just really pumped these last few episodes. Like, don't get me wrong, I liked the whole like Zeno, Stanley conflict and everything, but these shows with our characters just doing science, and it felt like we kind of got back to our roots, and it was so well done. It made me cry. These last few episodes have just been peak. So, yeah, let's jump into this and watch the last episode until we come back for more later on. All right, guys, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. I love his new little half cloak thing he's got on. Uh, yeah, takes him back. Yep, what he had to do, but so much longer than what he had to do it for too. Seeing that difference. Oh, interesting. Oh, don't show her aging up. Oh, yeah, that obviously makes sense to wake him up first. Yeah, the first craft show in 7 years. Let's go. Oh, man. Dude, seeing Suika is gonna get me so emotional now after what we just experienced with her. Like, I've always loved her character, but it's on like a whole new level now. I'm sad we're not gonna get bouncy melon Suika anymore though. Like, there's no way she fits inside a melon now, right? Like, it's not gonna happen. Anime, you're not gonna do that, right? Right, anime? You're not gonna shove Suika in a melon when she's 16 years old? Oh, man. I barely believed it when she was a child. By the way, guys, I messed with my audio. Hopefully, it sounds okay. I'm using a new sound suppression, which hopefully should nullify more of the background noise without cutting off my voice like the noise gate does. Or what would happen is when I talk, the noise gate would turn off, and then you'd hear the background noise behind my talking. Now it should just be nullified all the time, but hopefully it sounds okay. I had one failed attempt. I had to go back to my old system, and then I think I fixed it after that, so hopefully this is working well. Let me know in the comments if you notice any hiccups or anything really wrong with the audio, or if it's good. Either way. Whole new world. Yep, some glass blowing. He had a hard time with that. We needed Kaseki before, so that just shows that he's, like, improved in that skill. In a day! Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, so they have Platinum there with them. Okay. It's nice to see her, like, having a good time. Nice. Alright. Oh, is she gonna be okay? She was real hurt. So who's the first 16 people we... Wait, is 16 enough to bring everyone back we had here? Okay. She's okay? She's okay! Uh... Oh, why am I getting emotional again? No! Oh, everyone's gonna see her older, I forgot. Oh, fuck you, show. Yeah, give her a hug. Oh, come on, man. Ryusui. I can't handle a freaking reunion with Suiko like that for everyone. Yes. Oh, I like how they just immediately accept her, too. Yeah, she did. Oh, why is this hitting so hard? Yeah. Hey, Chelsea! Luna. Oh, they just instantly... Let's go. Oh, I need to get the tears out of my eyes. I can't see what's going on. Great every time I hear. Nice. Oh. Don't even hint at the idea of you dying before the show ends, you fool. Okay, he lived. Wait, where's Hyoga? Yeah. Oh shit. We're definitely... Oh, you just red flagged him! If you wouldn't have said it, he did turn to stone. Do dead people turn to stone if he was already dead? Okay, he looks healed. I like how they covered his mouth. They were like, he never likes to show his mouth, so let's cover it for him. Interesting. Oh, okay, he moved his head. Phew. Oh my god. Oh my god, they just went hunting. Okay. I like how they skinned it before they came home, too. They were just like, let's skin it while we're out here. Yeah, dude. Yes, celebrate! Let's go! We got everyone back. No more enemies on Earth, I don't think. Just on the moon. Yeah, oh. Oh, this music track, I love it. Oh, she doesn't need to eat because she already feels full. And made them some soup. Is she gonna need some proper glasses now? I mean, or is she just gonna keep using her half melon? But that means she can only see clearly when she's like looking down through it, right? Yeah. It hits different, huh? Look, they're going after Senku. He's bragging about how he tried to fight Stanley. Is that what's going on? Oh, true. Oh, interesting. They're like, we're not going to change his character design at the end of the show. Interesting. Why? Yeah, Gen's marking. Actually, did Gen lose his marking a while ago? But they didn't they paint it back on? I can't remember if Gen was the one that lost. Interesting. Sorry, guys. I keep clearing my throat. I'm trying to mute and cough when I can. Wait, why are we bringing that? Can we stop teasing the idea of him being dead soon? Maybe. Stop, man! Come on, no, I can't handle that. Chrome loves to eavesdrop. Is he gonna listen in? Okay. Wow, so he was dead. Yeah. Wow. I guess we kind of have. That's true. We were building up to this. Damn. What are the extents of that, though? That's crazy. The Adam and Eve like reference. Really? What about aging, though? What if Kaseki dies naturally and then you stone him? Yeah, turned everyone to stone and didn't seem like he had a plan to release anyone. We'll have to go ask him. Ugh. And we have someone that worked for NASA. Interesting. But if you don't keep an eye on him, he could free Stanley. I guess they could hide Stanley and not tell him where he is. Alright. Depraved science. Elegant depraved science. Whoa! His marks are like there, but like faded a bit. So he's kind of like Senku, where some of his stayed. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of crazy to think about. Damn. That's a crazy visual and a crazy thought. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Damn. We have one more part to this, and we're bringing in this like huge, like potential, like future plot line that we may never even see. Yeah. Okay. Is it saying something new? So they're watching. Okay, this is proving to Zeno that we need to team up. Okay. So Zeno didn't have the motivation to get to Y-Man before, but now he does. Oh, Stanley's just right there. Okay. Entirely justified or attempted murder? Okay. His lighter and shit. That's interesting. Oh, he like can kind of see it in his face. Aww, cool. Giving him a smoke. Let's go. Where'd the outfit come from? That's actually really interesting. Senku's outfit seemed to have remained, or they made a new one. Like somehow Suika made a new one because they were all in leaves. I guess they're scientists. They just made outfits. I guess. I don't know. That's interesting. It's like science beyond. I like that's so cool that Suika's listening in. I like their big model. Starting line. Damn. Ha! I like how she did the kind of like the Ryusui thing. Our map to a spaceship. Let's go. Oh, cool. I didn't realize they made like the tower, like the base of it look kind of like a rocket. I didn't realize like it looked like from the base I could tell it was like a model of a rocket. I didn't realize they did it with the tower that was already there. That's really cool. Get excited. All right. Does he usually say get excited in the dub? Is that why that's what I was thinking? Like, I know he always says this is going to be exhilarating, or this is exhilarating, and stuff like that. Does he usually say get excited with that? I've watched reactions to this show in dubbed, so that's why I know in dub I'm pretty sure he says, like, something a little different, and it might be get excited, you know? Yeah, that was a great episode. It had me in tears in the beginning with Kohaku and Suika's reunion again, you know. That was beautiful. And some of the others just seeing her and just immediately embracing her. It's like we all know how the petrification device works, and we're all familiar with time skips now. That they didn't like question it or be confused or whatever. They just instantly accepted it. Awesome. I also love seeing the progression of like we used to need Kaseki for the glass blowing, but over time Senku has gotten good enough at it that he was able to do it himself. I think that's a really cool little detail, because back at the start of the show, Senku wasn't able to do it at all. That's why we brought Kaseki into the story. So, it's very neat. Obviously, Kaseki is still needed. I'm not saying he's, like, not needed. And I hate that they kept giving him, like, death flags this episode and stuff like that. But, yeah. That's it, guys, for, I think, right? Future Engine. Interesting. That is it, guys, for episode 24. Alright, and that is probably it, if I'm not mistaken, until the next part comes out. So, very neat. Which is usually like a one-season skip, so we might have like a, what is that, like roughly 3 months wait until the next part. Let me just double-check just to make sure I'm not stupid. What this is science future. Science future part 2. Yeah, September, airing till September 25th. Yep, okay. So it is done now. I just want to make sure that's good, good, good. Well, not good. I'm gonna miss it, but good that I'm not wrong. Anyways, yeah, awesome. Okay, so tears. Senku's scars are still there, so apparently, like, those markings weathered enough. Now, was that the first time when he was stoned for 3,700 years? Is that when they became too weathered to be healed? I would assume so, right? Or can they become weathered once you're up and moving? But it's interesting that they decided... I mean, I do think they look cool. So I do kind of like having Senku with them. But it's like, I wonder if that choice was like, was the writer like, I think Senku looks cool with these, so I want to have a reason for him to keep them, right? Same with Zeno's X. Zeno's X is a little less severe. It was really bad before. Like, that crack must have been insane before. But now it's like a little less, which is really interesting. So, but yeah, we have this plot line now where Tsukasa was saying he knows that Hyogo was dead, and the revival fluid brought him back. So if you are to die in this world, you can be brought back. Now the limits aren't tested. Like, if you're dead for an hour, can you still be brought back? If you're dead for a week, can you still be brought back? Like, we need like D&D rules. Is it like, which type of revival in D&D does it compare to, right? Like, there's like ones that are like within 5 minutes or something like that, right? Or within like seconds. But then there's ones that are within like a week, and then I think there's ones that are like years and years later you can bring someone back. So, like, if you get reduced down to a skeleton, can it bring that back? I can't imagine it would, right? Like, if you were to, like, dig up a grave, like, obviously they probably don't have any graves in this world right now, because of, except for maybe the people on the islands, that had natural people. But if you were to, I guess, yeah, if you went to one of those islands, either Chrome's hometown, and you found, like, some of their bodies that are, I assume they bury their bodies when they die, like, would it work? Would it work on a skeleton? I'm really curious as to the limits. Same with old age. They speculated that it might keep Kaseki alive and stuff like that. But then they also theorized this dystopian future, which is a terrifying thought of, like, whoever has this power has to, like, choose who goes into an eternal slumber, because eventually you would just have too many people on the planet. If no one's dying, then, one, you just have millions, billions, trillions of old people walking around, but then you also don't have enough food to feed everyone and stuff like that. But really really interesting idea of like the potential of the future. But with the show ending, I don't know that we'll ever really know unless we time skip to when society gets like fixed up and everything. So certainly, certainly interesting. I do like how easy it was for Senku to be able to make it. It's like that's just the power of science, you know, the revival fluid. Sorry, I know I immediately got derailed into a different topic, but I was just thinking about that again, where it took Suika, you know, roughly 5 years or whatever it was estimated from the time she broke out to creating the fluid, and then Senku made it in a day, and then made the next one in a day, you know, and was able, over the course of 16 days, made enough for 16 people. So, very cool. Um, and yeah, we have Zeno freed as well, which he's gonna stay in line because they basically so they didn't. I thought they were gonna physically hold Stanley hostage. I think their idea is way smarter than my idea. I thought they were just gonna hide Stanley somewhere and be like, hey, you know, we'll give you Stanley back when you complete your mission doing this for us, right? But no, what they did instead, because that would leave it open to Zeno going behind their backs, somehow finding where they hid him, and releasing him and then having the same problem. No, what they did was they convinced Zeno that Y-Man's a problem. They were like, he was broadcasting to petrify the Earth. It was on a loop, so you could say that maybe there's a radio station on the moon that's broadcasting this, and maybe Y-Man is dead, right? Maybe there's no one on there, maybe it was just broadcasting. But when the Earth got petrified again and no one was moving, he turned the broadcast off. Now, it's really interesting, maybe Y-Man doesn't have a way to track, like, individual people. Like, maybe Suika being released wasn't enough to trigger, because you would think in the, like, 5 years of Suika being broken out that Y-Man would have turned the broadcast back on. But I'm guessing one person moving around, either he wasn't able to see it or it wasn't a concern for him. Now that everyone's getting broken out, it might get turned back on. But the fact that he turned it off proved to Zeno that Y-Man's going to keep trying to turn everyone to stone. So you can try to have your silly little dictatorship, but if we don't work together right now and solve this Y-Man problem, then he's just going to turn you to stone one of these days, and you're going to be screwed, even if you are in charge. So he's like, okay, I'll help. But then it's like, how do we keep him from releasing Stanley and taking over and him just being the one to lead it? They're like, okay, here's the deal. When we release everyone, I guess he could still do that, right? If he gets control, then they just don't release everyone, right? So I guess there still is a way that he could try and take over. I don't think he will. I think this episode was settling, like, that whole feud. But, like, before they revive everyone, because, like, if he revives only who he wants to and becomes a dictator, then it doesn't matter what their testimony is, right? Their condition only matters if they revive everyone, the standard of living from the old world returns, and then they give testimony to what people did in this time of lawlessness, right? And they're basically saying, hey, we'll testify that what Stanley did was, you know, and, you know, just because of, like, a wartime, you know, it's justified under wartime rules, or whatever I can't remember the exact words they use. It's like, or if you try to go against us, then we'll say he's a murderer, which I guess there is that line where it's like, sure, Zeno could try and go against them, but if he loses again, then that screws Stanley over, right? So Zeno would have to have an absolute confidence that he'd win before, or else he's risking Stanley, and I think that's where they're really getting him. So yes, he could try and release Stanley, try and take over, but if he loses, then there's no more negotiating. They're just going to be like, okay, we're going to restore order, and then he's going to go up against a court, and everyone here is going to testify that he just wanted to murder people, and then he's going to be stuck in jail, and who knows, like, if he gets a life sentence, now that people are immortal. Now, how does that work? Like, is the immortality isn't just, like, if you became stone, you don't just live forever because you became stone once, right? So people can still die, right? So prisoners, they could give a life sentence. Why would you bother turning them to stone and bringing them back to extend their life sentence, right? Unless you just wanted them to be miserable longer, right, in jail. But no, you'd probably just let them die because that's just more mouths to feed and more people in the prisons. And eventually you wouldn't have enough prisons for all the criminals, maybe, you know, but anyway, obviously all that's in future stuff that we may not even ever see. I would love to see, learn a little more about that before the show ends, like, the extent of bringing people back to life, but I hate that they kept teasing Kasuki's death because I'm really worried that's how they're gonna prove it. Like, Kasuki's gonna die before the story ends, and they're gonna try to bring him back, and they're gonna find out that dying from old age isn't the same as, like, dying to a gunshot wound, and it won't bring you back, you know? But, anyway. Certainly interesting. Uh, but yeah. What, what did I write down here? I cannot read my own handwriting. Oh, Suika looking in. That's what I wrote down. I loved that moment with Suika looking in with Chrome while Zeno and Senku are doing their science, because now she has had a taste, like, yeah, she's been around while they did science before, but she never really, like, took part in it. And now that she spent 5 years trying to craft this, this revival fluid, it's like she got a little bit of the taste for science, and now she's eavesdropping in with Chrome, and I think that's really interesting. I wonder if that's setting up Suika as being another science user, in their terms. I think that could be really interesting to see as well. And once again, that's just character development that I'd love to see, like the characters changing based on their environments and their experiences, where she never really had this interest before because she was just young and kind of just enjoying life and running around and playing with the dog and Boar and, all, and obviously helping out where she can and all that. But now she's older and she has this fascination because of how much work she's put in, and now maybe she wants to learn more. Maybe partially because if this ever happens again and she somehow is the one to break out, she may want to be able to make this, revival fluid in a day like Senku can, Like, to her, it's probably like a superpower. Like, to us, we grow up looking up to, like, superheroes because they're strong and they save the world from evil. That's what Senku's doing. He's saving the world from evil using this science, which, kind of looks like magic to her and everything. So I think that's really neat and going to be a cool direction we go if she's like, I can learn this. Imagine if you could, like, learn a superpower to be able to, like, save the world and fight crime and stuff like that. That'd be sick. But yeah. Anyways, guys, very cool stuff. Like I said, there were moments of the Zeno and Stanley stuff that I wasn't the biggest fan of, just because I love the science and goofy and fun times we have as a group so much more than, like, the conflicting groups and everything. But and we had, like, 3 different groups too. Like, I really loved it the first time when we met Kohaku and that whole village and everything. That was a really fun moment, having, like, people that survived this whole time learning of Byakuya and everything. The second time was not as special, but still pretty good, of, like, the people they left behind. When, like, the original people left and came to Japan, the people that were left on Treasure Island stayed there too, and that created 2 civilizations. I thought that was really neat. But, then we brought in Zeno's group, and it was like, okay, I really like Zeno's character, but spending so much time on the conflict between them, I just want to see them do science, So, but I still had a lot of fun with the show, and like I said, these last few episodes were peak. Like, if anything, that whole arc with Zeno and them and Stanley was worth it to see those Suika episodes, because yes, they were sad, but they were also beautiful and really amazing to watch. So the fact that they, like, led to that made it all worth it to me. But now the conflicting should be done, except for if Y-Man pulls some tricks, I think. But the humans on Earth, I think we're all going to be working together now. and we're just going to be building this rocket to save everyone. Now, I'm worried how many people they're going to release that we don't know. Will they try to give any conflict there? But with only 12 episodes left until the show ends, I feel like we don't have too much time for them to create any kind of like large-scale conflict. So if anything, it's going to be minor squabbles that we have to deal with between the people that get released that might have their own ambitions, right? So, anyways, guys, very cool stuff. I cannot wait to come back to this show and finish it up and everything. It's going to be really sad when it's over because I just love these characters. It's just such a fun environment to be in and watch, and I've grown so accustomed to it now, just coming back to this show and watching so much of it, that I'm gonna miss it. So, thank you guys so much. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. 2 episodes ahead on my Patreon. Well, I guess technically you'll be watching 2 episodes of whatever wins the poll. I don't know what wins yet. So something will be replacing this until we move into the next part. So check that out if you're interested. You'll get 2 episodes ahead for it, or 2 episodes ahead for my other shows. There's also the Patreon show tier where you get shows that aren't even released yet. I just started with Storia, Sword, and Stone. Nope, Wand and Sword. I'm sorry. Which, episode 1, I just watched it tonight, but by the time you're seeing this on YouTube, there might be a couple episodes out on there. The first episode was amazing. I loved it already. I cannot wait to watch more of that show. So if you guys want to see more of that, the Patreon show tier has all kinds of stuff that isn't released to YouTube yet. Check it out if you're interested. Links in the description below should be popping up on the screen, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.